McKee, and welcome to Art Online at Chrysalis.
So for today's video, you're going to need a pencil, paper, eraser, and then the ruler is always optional for this. It's just for creating your grid lines if you need it. The image that we're using as a reference is one of Abraham Lincoln. I thought this would be a great example because there's a long history of caricatures of Abraham Lincoln, and he's honestly a pretty identifiable and iconic figure. So I thought this would be a great time to introduce kind of caricature and adding character elements with proportion and manipulating shapes. So I've outlined kind of the changes that I've decided to make in order to have this drawing of Abraham Lincoln really exemplify kind of a confidence. So I've basically done a lot of work to simplify the drawing and then to exaggerate certain features. So I've taken the nostril line down, and that's going to emphasize the nose because I think that's a pretty prominent feature of the face, as well as I'm going to be manipulating the mouth and the eyebrow shape and kind of simplifying the hair. And I'll go into this more detail in the video. So as I'm getting started, I kind of wanted to touch on proportion. So proportion just simply means the size and shape of the things that are anchored onto the face. So I've used our traditional grid lines, but I'm kind of showing in these three images how changing proportion really can manipulate how faces are perceived. So the top one kind of is the one that I want to be following for the Abe Lincoln drawing. The one next to it is kind of what I think would be a more feminine look, and then on the bottom it's just examples so that you can see the differences in where you place your grid lines and how that can change the size and shape of things on your drawing. Another thing that I'm going to be looking at in this drawing in particular is kind of changing the eyebrow and the eye shape. So I've shown in this diagram kind of 3 very simple changes to the eyebrows that are going to communicate different qualities. I kind of want to give Abe Lincoln a more confident look, so I'm going to be using the 3rd one as an example. And then going in further, so when we manipulate the eyebrows, we want to make sure that the eye shape is following suit with that. So I like to think of it as the eyeball just being kind of the same shape all the time, and then the eyelids are kind of doing all the communication work. So the 4 drawings of eyes are just circles, and then as you can see in the light gray, the eye shape changes, and that's going to be based on how the eyebrows move. And you'll see it kind of in the sped up drawing that I was doing, that when the eyebrow moves down or up, then the eyelid will move with it, so it's kind of squishing the shapes. And once I'm happy with kind of the lighter outline pieces that I'm doing, I'm going to be going in and kind of darkening the areas that I want to emphasize, and then working on filling in the hair, which is basically just finding where the movement is and then blocking in with a dark pencil. So in all, this video has covered looking at facial expression and manipulating proportion in order to convey character and create caricatures and personality in celebrity portraits.